Welcome back to the KickNPost YouTube channel and podcast. Welcome back to Teal and Steel.
We back.
It's kind of crazy, bro.
It's been forever.
About 20 weeks. Roughly 20 weeks. The last one we posted was a prequel to the Chargers Jags playoff game. Y'all didn't make the playoffs, but we had the same record.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that Chargers Jags playoff game went.
And I allegedly said the Jags were gonna lose.
I'm gonna clip it.
I feel like we're clicking on offense a little bit. He did have some missed throws last week. I don't know if you watched the game against Tennessee, but Trevor did miss wide open one in the end zone, was overthrowing people a little bit. And, those playoff nerves might set in a little bit for a young team, but something just feels like this is our win at home.
I wouldn't hate it if y'all did. Like I said, we put a 10 on this game already.
Yes, off camera, but we'll reiterate on camera. I got the Jags winning this game.
I got the Chargers winning. I think if I had to predict the score, I think it's going to be...
I got 31-28 Jags.
I was kind of in the same area.
But opposite.
But the other way around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll put a few points out. I think the Jags are going to be a little bit nervous because it's their first time young team. I know LA is kind of the same thing, but you feel like there's a lot of vets on that team with Khalil Mack, JC Jags. JC, is he playing?
He's hurt.
Okay, so he's not going to be playing.
Keenan
Allen. These guys have been around for a while, so I think they're going to have the right mentality. So I think it's going to be more of like a 21-24 type game.
Okay.
The Chargers win. Close game, though. I think it'll be a good one.
I'm excited. I'm already trying to work things behind.
I'm gonna clip it.
All right, I'll take it.
I'm gonna clip it.
But you're gonna like my thoughts on the Jags this year, so I'll make up for it.
It's not anything new, bro.
It's not.
Unfortunately, everybody's on the Jag train. But let's not keep it like it's just us.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh's been getting a little bit of hype too out of the preseason.
We both looking good. I think we both up right now. We both up.
It's kind of wild how the trajectory of both teams are just kind of following the same.
It is,
I think,
and I'm happy about that. We have something to be excited about. Last year I was a little worried. I know you had Teal loss. I was like, they're gonna be looking kind of good maybe. I was a little worried, but now I'm feeling a lot better. We back.
Let's talk about some preseason. Obviously, you guys go through the draft. Big additions, offensive line. Was it Broderick Jones, I think, out of Georgia?
Broderick Jones and Darnell Washington were two big pickups that we had for the offensive line.
We stuck to some interesting picks. Went running back, Tank Bigsby out of Auburn.
Interesting.
If I'm not mistaken, Parker Washington is a receiver we added as well. Added Brenton Strange, if I'm not mistaken, a tight end as well. Not any huge names, but all of them have pretty solid roles that they play.
I was surprised to see the direction that you guys went, but I think you guys still got some solid players. But that's interesting.
I'm interested to see how these guys get utilized, especially Brenton Strange. Maybe there'll be a little bit of 2 tight end sets. Give Evan Ingram a breather some days, try to keep him fresh. But
that's what I'm worried about, though, about the picks you guys had. It's like, are these guys really going to be seeing the field? How beneficial are they really going to be? Tank definitely will, but when it comes to Strange, we'll see. And then the receiver that you guys picked up, you guys already have a pretty good receiving room, so
he's a yak guy, though.
So maybe you'll have a spot then.
I feel like in offense, I don't know if we're trying to recreate kind of I don't want to say the Niners trio of receivers or trio of pass catchers, but Calvin Ridley's pretty solid after the catch. Christian Craig's shown himself to have good yak ability as well. And this guy, Park Washington, isn't a big receiver. I feel like we could have went out and gotten a guy who's above 6'2", 6'3", but we didn't. Kept it kind of small. But he's also another guy that plays strong at the wide receiver position.
Luckily you have a guy like Evan Ingram, though, that can dominate the size game a little bit. And Calvin Ridley, he's not really known for that kind of stuff, but that man can make some plays. So.
Yeah. Which, speaking of Calvin Ridley, his off-season trajectory, fantasy-wise and just real football-wise, he looks fast.
He looks good.
He looks healthy.
Fresh.
Making big plays in preseason in the few drives that he does play. My outlook on this man, I'd be surprised if we keep him under 1,300 yards receiving. I think there's going to be a lot of passing going on in this offense.
I think a healthy 17 games.
Yeah.
1,300.
Easy.
He's got
easy. Red zone monster. That's my plan for him as well. As a Jags receiver, I feel like I feel like this will be, and I don't know if it's hyperbolic, but I know he played with Julio, but I feel like in terms of overall skill group, this will be the best skill group he's played with since he's been in the league. And obviously the best version of a quarterback that he's played with since he's in the league. He played with Matt Ryan, but I don't think it was, what was it, 2010 Matt Ryan. It's not like back then. It was.
Was he with them on his MVP year? Was that right before?
It might be right before.
Because I think they drafted Calvin Ridley, I think like a year or two after.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think it was his MVP year. I don't think he had Calvin for that one.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of wild if they lost to the Patriots on that much of a comeback.
I think it was
With Calvin
Julio
and
and like Gabriel and
I think Mohamed Sanu was out there.
Sanu was out there.
Yeah.
I think it was right before.
Yeah, but big year, I think, incoming for Calvin Ridley. And just to remind people why, especially fantasy-wise, he was top 2-round pick in startups 2 years ago. He didn't miss a year off of an injury. He didn't miss a year off of anything football-related.
Fresh.
So he should be healthy. I'm very excited for what the offense looks like. I think the biggest question mark for us going into the year is the defense. And I think a lot of this defensive unit, another year together, another year in off-season, trying to get better. Our linebacking core, I'm a huge fan of our linebacking core. It's just to see what our secondary does. So I don't know. I'm excited. But enough about Teal.
Well, before we go to that, before we move on to the Steelers, I mean, just to kind of go back to Calvin Ridley, if you like watching wide receivers and how they do their stuff, look at his highlights.
Yeah.
Look at it. That man, technician at the route running position, great hands, great speed. Even go back to the Bama days, he looks good. That's why I think it was like Chris that said he might be a top 5 receiver this year. Top 5 might be a little hard, but I could see it because I mean, if you look at that man's talent, it's there.
And Chris has been way ahead of the curve on this one. We're talking like as soon as the Super Bowl ended.
But hey,
he was calling that one.
But you can acknowledge though that I didn't hate the idea. I was actually one of the ones that defended him out of like the 5 people that we were together. I was like, no, I can see it.
Yeah, I and me as a Jacksonville fan, I couldn't co-sign it at that point. But no, he was way ahead of the curve on that one.
Yeah, so Chris.
Yeah, I don't know. He saw it. Now, will it land? A couple of things have to break right.
I think top 5 might be hard. You know, there's a lot of good receivers. I mean, a lot of receivers that can make it top 5. But I think top 10 is a lot.
Yeah, I think top 10 is a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a lot. I think 1,300, 8 to 10 touchdowns minimum. I think that's the kind of year we're looking at with Calvin. As long as he's healthy, as long as nothing gets in the way, yeah.
Okay, top 10 play. Speaking of top 10 plays, let's shift over to the Steelers a bit.
Okay.
Their wide receiving core. There's a certain wide receiver over there that he's very divisive, especially in like the fantasy world right now. George Pickens came out this summer and said that he's the best receiver in the world. And has done everything highlight reel wise to show that he is trying to put himself in that conversation. But as a guy who dabbles in the price picks, the player overages for the year, player unders for the year, the hype he's getting in the media hasn't even really transferred over to like what the actual production is believed to be.
Hasn't.
They have him at I think 750.5. The hype might have him at 775.5 now.
Which I want to point out, his rookie season he hit 800 yards, so that's free. There's no way he's gonna have a worse year than last year. I mean, like I said about Calvin, I mean, obviously if he plays 17 games this year, I think he's doing a thou. I think he's in 1,000.
It's free.
It's free.
I'd agree.
Would you disagree?
No, I have it in a lot of stuff. So I agree.
Because I mean, he already beat it his rookie year. I mean, look at what he's done in camp. Look what he's done. I'm bought in 100%. Same with Calvin's. Calvin's lines at like
Deontay.
No, I think they both are going to have a great year.
Calvin's I think is at 9 something though.
Calvin's at 900. I think is still free as well. So, but I mean, even with Deontay there, I know there's a lot of mouths to feed. I still believe in
Freiermuth. Yeah, running offense.
That was there last year.
Yeah.
That was their last year. Nothing really's changed. I mean, other than
the breakout of Calvin Austin, Allen Robinson.
But Calvin Austin, we know what kind of player he is. You know what I mean? He's not the kind of guy that's gonna every single game have 7 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. That's just not who he is. He's gonna have good games, and he's gonna have his good games are gonna be like 2 catches for like 80 yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna have his bad games where he's probably just gonna have a catch or 2 for like 25 yards. So there's gonna be plenty of opportunities for George Pickens. I think Kenny's gonna have a breakout year this year as well. I don't know if he'd break out as in like a top 5, nothing like that, but I think he's still going to be a 35 to 4,000 yard passing yards. I think he's going to have over 25 touchdowns. And I think Deontay and George are going to get the bulk of that. With Pat Fryermuth as like that nice third.
You know what's my favorite picket line right now that I just saw recently? I think it was this morning.
What?
Over 2.5 300-yard passing games.
I
Because
like
I was a big believer in his year stat, but I feel like that we're gonna see the huge passing days out of him in flashes. I feel like there will be games where he does not go for a crazy amount. I still think he hits that 4,000 passing yard mark, which I think his is set at 35, which feels a little bit low.
He's set up for it.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the supporting cast to do something like that. I mean, I think George Pickens is going to be a top 10 receiver at the end of this year. I think Deontay could be a top 20, top 15 if everything goes right. Pat Fryermuth is going to be in that 5-6 range. I think that we're going to have, Najee and Jalen Warren. I mean, the offense is just clicking. I mean, the only thing that's really a question mark right now is these new additions to the offensive line, like Roderick Jones and Darnell Washington. How well and how quickly are they going to really get acclimated and just step in and do their thing? But we've made a lot of offseason moves. We've acquired a lot of offensive line. If anything, I think we're going to at least have a solid offensive line. Maybe not the best, but something that's going to get it done. So we'll see.
In terms of statistics, I feel like you guys are going to have to pass the ball a lot to hang in this division. Obviously, AFC North, loaded top to bottom.
But you got to remember, that defense is, it's healthy.
It is, but I
think we can
you're
hold
going
people
against arguably three of the most talented quarterbacks in the league in division.
Mm-hmm. It's a stacked division.
Yeah.
We were talking about it before. It's going to be tough. I think you said it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's going to be. So, in order for us to succeed, things are going to have to click.
The offense has to work. No team. This isn't like the 90s where you'll have or the early 2000s Ravens team where you could have, what's his name, Trent Dilfer at quarterback, and that team's just holding multiple teams to under 20 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be
this can't be like last year, Steelers, where we score 15 points and then our defense stops them for 12. It got to be better. There's not going to be, like when we face the Raiders, where game-winning drive, we end up getting 16 points total. That's not going to cut it this year. We're going to have to score some points, and we're set up for that. And we need to execute. Our defense is going to keep us in games. Our defense is going to keep us in those tough ones like the Bengals, the Browns, the Niners week 1. They're going to keep us in there. We have to execute on the offensive side.
I know you were a big hater on Matt Canada. Isn't he still there?
He's still there. I don't love that. But what I've seen in preseason, I can like what he's doing, at least as of right now. So, if Mike Tomlin is a believer,
you're a believer?
I'm a believer. I believe this year. To be fair, that was only 1 year. Rookie quarterback, kind of hard to succeed anyways in that situation. And I was a huge hater on Matt Canada. And to be honest with you, he still kind of deserved it. He was 3rd and 12. Run the ball with Najee Harris. Nothing really was spectacular. A lot of little jet sweeps. I'm not really trying to see all that, but this is second year Mike Tomlin believes. So
you say keep it to yourself. I don't want to see them jet sweeps.
Yeah, Calvin Austin jet sweeps.
It's more of a Madden play, but I digress.
You put him in space, bro. You gotta let that man spread out his wings.
Okay. So I have a proposition for you, essentially. Najee Harris last year, you would say, not his best year. Jalen Warren had a little bit of a breakout at the back end of the year. And now the preseason hype is that it's going to be a 50-50 split in the backfield. This is more of a fantasy question because I know you did buy in on Najee, especially last year. What do you feel like his year this year is going to look like? Because, again, not to go back to lines, but I think it's at 890 now or something like that. They don't even think he'll get to 900 yards. I've been hearing him being called slow. A very unexplosive back, and then that Warren is just going to run away with the job by the second half of the year.
Warren does look good.
How do you feel about not just Najee from a fantasy perspective, but where you guys took Najee? At first round pick. Back end of the first round.
Back end, though. We're talking about...
still, first round pick.
Yeah. I still don't hate it. I'm still a believer in Najee. I love his ability. I love the duo that we have right now. If we're talking about from a fantasy perspective, I think he's still going to have a place. I still think he's going to be a top 10 running back. His days of being a top 5 running back are probably gone. I'll be honest. They're probably not going to be there. but a top 10 running back, and I think his ADP right now is at 12 or 13 running back. So I think his ADP is, I think so. Last time I checked, he was at like 12, 13. Am I wrong about that?
That seems really low. Is there really 11 running backs going before him?
Yeah, I mean we can start naming them off right now. It's like down there. Maybe 10 is what I saw, but I remember seeing it was like 12 or 13. I was like, damn, really? That's pretty excessive. So his ADP is around that area right now, and I think he's still going to finish as a top 10 running back. So fantasy wise, I still think he's something that you should buy in. I've seen a lot of videos say don't buy into Najee Harris. He's still, I think, I don't think it's going to be 50-50. I still think it's going to be a 60-40.
I think the red zone is his, though.
I think the red zone is going to be his. I think he still has some pass catching upside. Najee is not a slouch when it comes to pass catching. So he had a game winner last year against, I think, the Ravens as a pass catching touchdown. So I'm not sold on it when it comes to him being just out and Jalen Warren's just going to take the spot. Jalen Warren does look nice though, and from a Steelers fan
perspective, yeah.
Wow, I'm really excited to see what he's capable of. Fantasy wise, I think Jalen Warren is someone you definitely should pick up.
Stash.
You have to stash him as he's going to have a role. And also as the fact that he's Najee's backup. Najee wasn't super healthy last year, which makes me also believe that he's probably going to have a better year this year. Rookie quarterback,
he did
bad
say
offensive
he
line,
feels a lot better.
Not healthy. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can kind of say for last year. This year, I mean, there's no excuses this time. Though. So better offensive line, better quarterback play, so there's more opportunities, and he's healthy. I'm expecting at least a good year. But top 5 days are probably over, in my opinion.
I think he'll have a pretty solid year. Quite a few of the players on both of our teams will have a solid year. Were there any players outside of the Jags or the Steelers that you're kind of excited to see what type of year they'll kind of shake up to have in general, 2023 NFL season?
So one person I've been really buying into a lot recently is Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
You know, I've taken him in 2 drafts. I actually have him in 3 leagues. Did you know that? I have 5 leagues. I have him in 3 of them.
That's difficult to do.
One of them I stashed him last year. It's our free dynasty league. I don't know if you remember that one or not. That one I think I got him. And then I have him in 2 other leagues. I'm a big believer. You know, I think that the fact that he was taken at the 12th pick says a lot.
They reached. They went and got their guy.
They got their guy. And was it a reach? Time will tell.
Yeah.
I mean, what he's capable of is being a pass catcher. And I think he's actually a pretty solid runner as well. I don't think he's, the best running back that we have. But, I mean, when it comes to overall skill, I think he's young. I think he's going to be really good. Fantasy perspective, Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm locking it in, bro. I think he's going to be a top 10 running back this year. Maybe he might even push into the top 5, in my opinion.
So Jahmyr Gibbs is one of them. Okay. I'll give one. We'll go back and forth a little bit. A.T. Perry.
Okay.
I have to do it.
Gotta do it. Gotta shout out the boy.
Gotta shout out the boy.
Made the team.
I was very upset. Like, it sounds like I'm tripping, but I was very upset that we didn't at least have a dart throw on A.T. Perry at that size. We needed that type of receiver, I felt like.
Would have been good for you guys.
Yeah, it would have been good to have a jump, not even really a jump ball guy. He's a big body guy. He's not super athletic, but he did test way more athletic than we saw on his, initial stats. He had a great NFL combine. So I was like, you know what? Give me A.T. Perry 5th round, 6th round. The Saints got him. And all I was hoping is that they didn't cut him. Or if they did cut him, we were on the waivers waiting. Preseason.
He had
a few big preseason games.
A couple splash plays in there. They look really good.
He looked really good with Jameis with the second unit. Obviously, the Saints wide receiver core. You have Shaheed, who made a name for himself last year. You have Traquan Smith, shout out UCF, who sometimes it looks like his hands are bricks because he'd be dropping everything, but he's a great blocker, and he has his days, but he is very susceptible to injury. Obviously, Chris Olave, we knew what he did last year, was very close to. Did he end up with Offensive Rookie of the Year?
No, it was Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
but it was neck and neck. It was neck and neck.
And then you have Michael Thomas, who we've seen his peaks. I don't know what we're going to get with him coming back.
I'm not bought in.
I'm not bought in either, but
whatsoever.
But if he's healthy,
I don't care.
He's Michael Thomas.
I don't care.
Okay.
I haven't seen that man play in since 2019, 2018?
Yeah, but he's Michael Thomas.
The man's
so he's going to be on the field.
Man's bit of glass.
Yeah, but I'm talking for our friend of the podcast. He probably has never seen it. a friend of the podcast, A.T. Perry, for him to get on the field, Michael Thomas is going to start over.
For now.
There's a contract. Exactly. For now.
For now.
There's how will he look? Will he suffer an injury? And then if that role opens up, I feel like our boy A.T. Perry could slide right in.
I think he landed at a perfect spot.
Okay.
I wouldn't say perfect. Let me take that back. I think he landed in a good spot.
You know where would have been a great spot? Kansas City.
Kansas City. I mean, we say that about everybody.
Yeah, but like Rasheed Rice is there, and I'm not a huge Rasheed Rice fan.
But people are now kind of like,
ooh, Rasheed Rice, exactly. Like
just because he landed, it may not be the perfect landing spot. Let me take that back. But it's a good landing spot. You know, I think you have Chris Olave as the number one. I'm not buying into Michael Thomas whatsoever. He hasn't played since forever. I think I was in high school the last time he played. That was back in the day.
That was a while ago.
That was back in the day. So I think he has a chance. I mean, I think if Michael Thomas gets hurt again, or if he just doesn't really perform, I mean, you said Shaheed was out there. He looked good, but I mean, wasn't he undrafted? He doesn't.
Don't matter.
It don't matter, but I mean, to sit here and expect an undrafted guy that had a decent rookie year, he had some plays. To just go in there and just be a number 2 automatically, I think is a
number 3.
Number 3, yeah, okay, yeah, Michael Thomas, but number 3, I think that he could take that spot. I think Shaheed, he's good, and I think he's a good deep ball guy. But I think A.T. Perry could step into that number 3. Chris Olave is gonna be number 1, though. So I think any hopes that we have for A.T. Perry possibly landing somewhere and go crazy and be number 1,
it's not gonna happen there.
But I think best case scenario, I think if he could be a number 2 over there, and you know with Derek Carr,
yeah,
that's a competent quarterback. You know, he ain't no elite quarterback. He's competent. He can get the ball out. So.
Anybody else you excited for this year?
You know, it's funny they said that because the next person I was going to talk about was Chris Olave.
Go ahead.
I love Olave. I mean, I've told you about him. I think that, you know, he is a great route runner. I love his game. I love those guys that just are crisp route runners that can find their spots and make plays. He's consistent. So we'll see what he can do this year. I'm excited to see him when it comes with Derek Carr because last year he just had Andy Dalton with a hurt Jameis Winston and almost won Rookie of the Year. Offensive
Ian Book. I think they put a couple people out there last year.
So now you have a competent quarterback, a top 15 type quarterback to give him the ball. I think that I'm expecting big things from him. He's somebody that unfortunately I haven't been able to buy him at all in fantasy. His price is high now. His price is high, and I thought about it, but I just haven't been able to get him. But
it's an expensive play.
He is. I think he's starting out like a back end second or early third round pick, right where like Garrett Wilson's at.
That is a tough one. I don't want to go for big names. I like trying to find the names that are like.
I think my guys I wrote down are. I mean, I have some.
No, they're not
guys,
massive names,
but they're guys I'm expecting a leap. You know, I think that they had a good rookie. These are guys I will go out of my way to every month go look at their highlights because I just like watching them.
I'm going for the bunch of the guys that you'll be able to probably pick up off waivers still. Well, this guy you probably won't be able to pick up off waivers anymore. The hype has gotten there. I mean, it's died out a little bit. But Justin Ross, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
You've been on that.
I'm not going to let go of the Justin Ross hype. Obviously, things have come out saying that he probably will have packages for him. He's not going to be a main starter. But let's keep it 100. Like, the receiving core for the Kansas City Chiefs is by no way set in stone. You have Kadarius Toney, who has glass bones and paper skin.
He's like Michael Thomas's son.
Yeah. So we know it's only a matter of time before he's on the IR. Sky Moore, we are not sure who he is yet. We'll find out possibly tonight. There will be a lot of targets vacated. It's looking like Travis Kelce might not play, or if he does play, he'll be a shell of himself. Playing on a bad knee, he's not going to be able to cut the best. I'm expecting him to not play, but we'll see. It's not been 100% confirmed, I don't think.
They said it's literally going to be like a game time decision.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do. Should I start him? What do you think?
No, I'm not starting him.
I already put some.
Let's not go into week 1 with somebody with a hyperextended knee.
He's your superstar, though, but I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean,
I can't do it. If he hyperextended his knee yesterday, not Sunday, literally yesterday. Yesterday at practice, he hyperextended his knee.
I thought it was a few days ago.
Might have been Tuesday.
I thought it's been like 3-4 days.
It might have been Tuesday. The earliest it could possibly be is Tuesday.
It might have been Tuesday. Sounds about right.
Yeah. I'm not doing it. I can't do it.
Yeah, I didn't start him.
So there should be a lot of vacated targets. It's in Arrowhead at home after winning the Super Bowl.
And they're going against the Lions.
They're going against the Lions, who
They're
also lacking pass catchers. If you think about it, it's Sam LaPorta, rookie tight end, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then potentially Jahmyr Gibbs in the slot a lot, or Marvin Jones, which I like his prop line for tonight, actually. It's like 28.5. It's been climbing a little bit. It's 29.5.
Where's Amon-Ra's receptions?
It started out the week at 6, and slowly, if you're on Price Picks at least, slowly got moved up to 7.5. I mean 7. So he'd need 7.5 or 7 pushes. If you
are a little high, but I still like it.
If you're a flip user, it's still at 6.5 or minus 125. Pretty solid.
I still like it. I know it's a little high, but I still like it with it.
I don't think it's high enough.
You think so?
Yeah, there's not enough commanding pass catchers on that side of the ball. Obviously, Jameson's suspended for 6 weeks. Sam Porter's a rookie. He started, but he's a rookie.
And to be fair, Marvin Jones is like 35 years old.
Jahmyr Gibbs is like we're not sure how they plan to utilize him yet, but again, another rookie. Marvin Jones is up there in age. Josh Reynolds is okay. But to get a first down, it's probably going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I still expect this game to be high scoring because it's Patrick Mahomes at home.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And he's going to have to throw the ball to somebody. So I think anybody.
The ball has to go somewhere.
I think KC starters, who you like to start? I think Sky Moore deserves to start probably. I think so. I think it's a flex option.
But I don't know. I have Sky Moore in a couple places this year.
We don't know what's going to be. I do like him. They're talking big. They say that he had a good preseason.
But Kadarius Toney's playing now too.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see about him.
That's the thing. Everything is a we'll see.
Yeah, there's no lot. There's no
Sky
lot.
Moore.
So who do you like?
MVS.
You starting Noah Gray?
No, MVS. Again, we'll see.
I feel like one of these guys got to hit. I think it's not a bad.
We do this every year.
I don't think it's a bad.
One of these guys got to hit, and then at the end of the game,
but Kelsey was
Patrick Mahomes will have 400 passing yards, and each of these guys are going to have 25, and you're going to be like, where did he get the other 200 passing yards?
True, but I mean, but we also haven't seen last year Kelsey being out. Kelsey's out. He's not. Well, we'll see. But he's probably not going to be playing. I don't know why he would play week 1. This is week 1. He could rest. Or just be out there for a few plays.
You know what I like?
What?
Justin, is he still on the Kansas City Chiefs? Justin Fortson? He was a tight end pro. I just got an epiphany. I like Justin Fortson anytime touchdown tonight. Like, just on the podcast it hit me. If he's still playing for the Chiefs. He might not be. But I feel like that's the go-to. Justin Fortson anytime touchdown. I think that's how I'm going to make some red this week. He's who I'm feeling. He's the guy.
Not even Noah Gray?
No, not even Noah Gray. I gotta look to see if Justin Fortson still plays for the Chiefs. And if there's any books taking action on that, because, man.
I don't know. I think one of these guys is going to be turning up. I don't know who it is. I think that you could put one of these guys in your flex.
I think MVS over yards, for sure.
I think MVS is not a terrible start. I think that Sky Moore isn't a terrible start. I think Tony isn't a terrible start. But you are risking. Because one of these guys is probably going to come away with a touchdown. One of these guys is going to look pretty good, and we don't know who it's going to be. So it's definitely going to be a risk.
I'm not a fan of starting them in fantasy.
I'm talking about a flex spot. I'm talking about like if you feel like you have a flex spot available, and you're debating between like a, what would you say, Alan Lazard or like an MVS? Because I mean,
MVS.
Alan Lazard is a low end flex option.
It's Garrett Wilson and who out there right now? Garrett Wilson.
Randall Cobb, Dalvin Cook.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you would consider Alan Lazard like a low end flex play. I mean, he's definitely not a premier flex play. But if you're debating between two people like that, I don't think MVS is a crazy start. Just temper expectations, though.
Jody Fortson is who I was talking about. He's on IR. He will not be scoring a touchdown tonight.
So are you going to pivot to Noah Gray? Or are you just completely out on Noah Gray?
You know who's a guy who's not getting any love? Justin Watson. A little speedy guy that they use. Yeah, he played last year. There's a couple games where he ended with like 60 yards receiving because Patrick Mahomes hit him on like 2 deep balls or 1 deep ball. He's going to get some field play tonight.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is Justin Ross, is he playing?
He's playing. I don't think he's going to play. He's like 3rd string, but...
I might see him out there a couple times. He looked good.
Maybe in the red zone.
Oh, they're just gonna put him in the red
Justin
zone.
Ross,
Jump ball.
anytime TD. No, they have some. A lot of the packages I've seen out of preseason would usually be him in the red zone.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big body guy.
He is bigger, and he also is a great hands guy. Good jump ball guy.
Route. That's my play. If I could find anybody to take action on it, Justin Ross anytime touchdown tonight.
If you call it here, I mean,
let's just get off to a good start. I mean, this video won't be out before tonight, but I will preface this was before tonight. We're recording at 1 p.m. Central. The game is at 7 p.m. Central. Justin Ross, anytime touchdown. That thing is probably like plus 6,000. Put $5 on that, get a cool $300. You're welcome. You're welcome.
What a play.
Let's transition to keys to tonight's game, and then we'll go into keys to both our teams' week 1 wins. So we've talked. There's injury and suspension on both sides. This is an Arrowhead. The line is minus. I think it's been bet down to minus 3.5 for the Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken. People are really sleeping on the team now. That's no more Travis Kelce. I think the over/under is like 50 points. How do you see the game playing out tonight?
I think it's going to be. I honestly think they're going to find a way to make this a high-scoring game. I think this is going to be a fun first game. I have the Lions coming out.
Winning? Okay, so the Lions are plus 185. You're not the only one. It's been pretty big of a call recently. They're plus 185. This is on Fliff, by the way. Plus 185, and the points spread is plus 4.5. So they have it being a fairly close game. So you got them winning it outright. Are you not taking the points?
I'm not taking the points. I'm going to take them winning outright. I think it's going to be a fun, high-scoring game, close game. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to keep it close. I know a lot of people are buying in the Lions. I am too. I like the Lions. I like what they're doing offensively. They made some additions on the defensive side that's also been very nice for them. I just think that right now with Kelce being out, I know that's such a big factor, and I know it doesn't really matter too much because Mahomes can throw to anybody. But Kelce's a big person to have missing. They also have some things going on with Chris Jones. Some things they're not going to have their best defensive player, and they're not going to have their best offensive weapon either. So those are two massive things. I think there's going to be some distraction as well with him not playing. And they just came off of a Super Bowl win. Typically Super Bowl winners start off a little slow going into the next year. So I think the Lions capitalize on that. I think they take 9.
Okay. You think it goes over 53 points?
I think it goes over 50 points. I want it to go over 50. I think this might be like a 32-28 type. Like 32 Lions, 28 Chiefs.
So you think the Chiefs get that many points up and lose?
I mean, this is Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to sleep on them, man. What am I going to say? They're going to score 14 points? No.
Imagine they score 14 points. I'm leaning with the Chiefs taking care of business in Arrowhead.
I can see it. It's definitely going to be a close one in my eyes. No matter what.
I think it'll be a very competitive game, but I'm going to sign up for the Mahomes performance over Jared Goff in Arrowhead.
And it's an Arrowhead. That's a tough place to go.
Yeah. I've taken an alt spread on it. I'm taking Chiefs minus 6.5. So Chiefs by a touchdown. Even with no Kelce. I feel like Isaiah Pacheco is getting slept on a lot. His rushing yard line is 51.5. They're going to have to run the ball a lot. I think
you know what else I like?
That. What?
I think I like. Where's McKinnon's passing?
It's climbed. So it started off at like 15.5. Now it's at 26.5 on most books.
I would have really liked 15.5.
15.5 was free money.
I still kind of like 26, but it's a little harder to sell right there.
Yeah. I think McKinnon's going to be utilized a lot. I think him anytime touchdown too would be a fun to throw in the parlay. I think there'll be quite a few touchdowns. If you like touchdowns, you might want to dabble.
I think this is a good game to dive into.
Yeah, if you want to throw a couple $5 on this person to score, $5 on that person to score. But I think it'll be a big day for the Kansas City Chiefs backfield. And those linebackers on the Chiefs are really going to have to show their worth because you're right, no Chris Jones. Not that much pressure on Jared Goff. And we know Amon-Ra usually likes to play the before the line of scrimmage receptions. I don't know how much he's going to really try to get into that space between the linebackers and the secondary. I think he's going to try to dominate the space between the defensive line and the linebackers. And obviously there's Sam Laporta, rookie tight end that's going to get a lot of hype, who's also going to be testing those Chiefs linebackers. So I think that's the unit that's going to really have to perform tonight. And I think they'll do just enough.
Yeah. I think it's a big amount of raw then.
Yeah.
I agree with you on the backfield for the Chiefs. Big McKinnon Day. I think the anytime touchdown actually sounds very appealing.
Yeah. That'll probably be like plus 260 or something, but that's still solid.
Even Pacheco at 50 rushing yards with no Kelsey, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I can actually, I kind of like it.
There's a lot you could get behind on this game. But I got it as a 7.5. I mean, a 6.5 cover. I think I got the Chiefs winning 35-28.
Okay.
Which would also cover the over. So
the thing that is, concerning with the Lions, and my thing that I'm kind of worried about is Goff isn't great at going away. Last year, that man went like 6 touchdowns with 3 interceptions at away games, and at home he threw for like 25 touchdowns. Like it was a pretty significant difference. So Arrowhead's probably the hardest place. Oh no! I ain't saying that. I'm just saying that was a concern last year. I think this year they made some adjustments, but that's where a concern could be. That's where my concern is how well is Jared Goff going to perform in Arrowhead, given the fact that last year he was not good away. We'll see. But I believe that Goff is going to have a good year. I think they're going to have a good game. I think that the Chiefs have too much stuff going on right now that I think they might be a little distracted. And they just came off a Super Bowl win. I think, like I said, I think they always kind of start off a little slow. So,
also, if you guys are utilizing Prize Picks, 88.5. Well, no, now it's at 91.5 combined rushing yards for the Lions backfield. Great run blocking line. We saw that last year. Great performances out of Jamal Williams in terms of touchdowns, not really yards. But when Swift was healthy, great yardage. And even when they threw Craig Reynolds out there, great yardage. So that might be a good play, too. If you say Jared Goff struggles on the road.
I do think that they're going to be leaning a little bit on the running ball. I wouldn't say they're going to lean on it too much, but I think that they're going to be trying to establish the run for sure.
It makes sense to drain the clock a little bit too. Less times with Mahomes with the ball in his hands. It's a very positive thing. So,
and I think David Montgomery, in my opinion, is an upgrade from Jamal Williams.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, a healthy running back is an upgrade from Swift. I still like Swift's talent over Montgomery's talent.
Yeah.
But that's an argument for a whole nother day.
Who would you say, Gibbs or Swift's talent?
We had this conversation before. I feel like off camera. Of course.
I don't think we've had that comment. I don't think we have.
Yeah, because I argued that they drafted. I might have actually had this one on camera too. I argued that they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, and I would argue Swift is a better talent, but I can't even really prove that now because he hasn't been healthy. A healthy Swift behind an Eagles line, we would be able to compare if he gets quite a bit of touches this year, which I do believe he's going to take hold of that backfield. We'll get to kind of see. But I felt like them reaching at 12 for Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think it says a lot.
It says a lot. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm a big DeAndre Swift fan. I haven't let go of the fact that he might not be as talented as I thought he is. So.
I'm a lover to him, man. He's on my list of people that I'm kind of looking forward to see what happens this year. But
it's so clogged back there, man.
It is. That's the concern. But I'm just
Week
hoping.
1, they have them all as the RB1. And I know they're just doing that so that the Patriots can't really scheme for one running back. It's kind of a smart move. I think they did the same thing last year. But there's so much competition in that backfield. And if he is not healthy, they're not going to wait for him to be healthy.
It's definitely going to be tough. I mean, my hopes are something's going to happen, but we'll see what happens.
You want to give any more guys you're excited for before we head into week 1?
I mean, if you want. I mean, the people I had written down is Jahan Dotson.
Love that kid.
Love him. Love the talent. Fantasy, I think he's a good person to buy into.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's very affordable at the moment as well.
Still, yeah.
I'm excited to see what Alexander Madison's going to do. I don't know. He's not a gimme. I think Jahan Dotson's a lot safer of a pick. Madison's a little risky, but I mean, I'm excited to see what happens. I've taken him in a couple leagues. Jerry Jeudy.
It sounds like he's missing week 1.
He is missing week 1, but he's somebody I'm excited to see what he can do this year. He's not somebody I would say buy into right now. Definitely not right now. But I'm hoping that he comes back from his hamstring issue. I'm hoping that he figures it out. He's a pretty big piece of my KickNPost dynasty team. So I'm hoping. DeAndre Swift and then Ramondre Stevenson. I got that boy in the KickNPost league as well. I love him. I think he's always been a really good player, very talented in the passing game as well. I think he's also a very good runner. Hoping that Zeke isn't going to take too much away from him. So I'm excited to see what he's going to be doing this year.
The reporters are already talking about Zeke making that backfield muddy. I just don't see the burst out of Zeke. But
I think he looked bad in Dallas. I think there's a reason why Dallas didn't pick him up. I mean, Dallas he had a role as an RB2 over there, and they chose not to bring him back. I even heard that he was going to take a pay cut to go back to Dallas, and they were like, "We're all right." So to me, I mean, that says a lot. And Jerry Jones, he's the kind of guy like when he drafts his players, he likes to keep them, and he paid Zeke a lot of money, paid Dak a lot of money, and the fact that he was able to let go, this year, I think says a lot. So I don't think he's going to make it too muddy for Ramondre, but I mean the concern is still kind of there, but we'll see.
To piggyback off the Zeke comment, Tony Pollard. I'm excited to see what a full workload for Tony Pollard looks like. Obviously, we've seen multiple games where he gets the workload and he looks phenomenal. But can you hold up for 10, 15, 17 games, right? They did not really go out. They got Ronald Jones to be his backup. He got caught doing PEDs. He's suspended for a little bit.
Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn, which fun little prospect. We'll see how they utilize him.
We'll see. I'm even though I'm in love with short kings out here, we got a chance out here. But at the same time, I mean, my man is like 5'5", 5'6". That's my height.
Yeah.
That's you're going up
Don't
against.
sleep.
I'm not sleep. I'm not sleep. The man looks good.
Moving.
He looks good, but I mean, the concerns are obviously out there.
Yeah.
Man's small as shit. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
He's small, so we'll see.
He like packages. Obviously, they're not going to line him up and run HB gut with him.
I'm not expecting that, but I'm also expecting, he run a sweep or whatever he does, and I'm expecting a guy like Chris Jones,
to just grab him by the collar and pick him up off the ground.
No, I'm just saying when you have 3 defense linemen bodies falling on him because he wasn't able to make the edge, is he going to be able to sustain that? I don't know. In order for him to be fantasy viable or even viable in real life, he's going to have to get the ball quite a bit. So, can he sustain that? We'll see. I'm just saying that the man is small.
We'll see. Can come in and Darren Sproles, I believe.
Good for him.
Put that boy on punt returns. Imagine putting him on punt returns and you have to find him.
You're gonna play him
behind all those bodies.
They already have a guy out there.
Imagine trying to find him behind those bodies.
Already got a guy.
Yeah, Turpin or whatever his name is. I don't care. You can see him. If you put somebody like him to
Turpin
kick back,
is actually a pretty good return.
I don't care. You know what's harder to catch than Turpin?
What?
Someone you can't
see.
Turpin's
also pretty small.
Someone you can't see.
Turpin's like it's 5'9", 5'10".
Imagine Deuce Vaughn just like running by your calf when you try to go look for the person who has the ball on.
Maybe he's gonna have like the CEH first year where like people are just like the dude's short as shit, nobody can see him. Maybe that will happen, but
red zone style, just kind of put him in to kind of crawl between. You
love this man Deuce. We'll see. I'm not bought in.
I might be about it.
I'm bought in for the short kings. I'm not bought in for with it yet.
They better give him a receiving yards line on Prize Picks for week 1 because now I'm hammering it.
Do it. Because TP can't play the whole game, right? Dude's got to get.
They got to do something.
Dude's got to get right. So we'll see. I guess we'll see week 1 with Ronald Jones. I guess I didn't know that he was suspended, but if he's suspended, this is our chance. How many games?
I think it was 4.
So 4 games. That's 4 games for Deuce Vaughn to do something.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
Or Turpin, since you love Turpin.
I like Turpin as a returner. Let's relax.
Okay. Anyway, both involve running. Moving on to week 1 of, let's call it the Teal and Steel leg, right? Pittsburgh at home against a newly paid Nick Bosa. Probably going to be trying to show you why they paid for him. I was hoping they didn't pay him, to be completely honest with you. I've been making all these bets hoping they didn't pay him and that Kittle would miss the game. Looks like both of them will be playing. I'm still riding with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't get me wrong. Pittsburgh money line. Last time I looked, plus 105. I'm all on it. I love that one. I think it'll be a big game for the Steelers. I don't know if you guys checked out our AFC North video, but I feel like this is the game that will kind of dictate where the Steelers lay in that division. Meaning, are they ready to compete, or is it still a building year? If they go out there and compete week 1 at home with a fully healthy team, I'm not even looking for you guys to win the game to show me that you're real. I just need
keep it close.
I just need to see, not even just keep it close. If this game ends up 15-12, and you guys look like dog water and lose, I'm not gonna be a fan of the performance because I'm not a big believer in Brock Purdy. Obviously, if you keep those playmakers down, cool. But I think your defense should bully Brock Purdy. Yep. Yes, they have a really good offensive line, but I think your defense, completely healthy to start the year, should bully Brock Purdy. I would like to see your offense put up 21 points against this defense. That's a solid defense on the other side too, but I would like to see how the offense flows. If you guys move the ball and get stuck in the red zone, I'll even give you that. I just need to see what it looks like.
You want to see some things,
some semblance
flowing.
of this team can move on offense.
Chemistry.
This team is playing great defense. They're playing a team that was a quarterback away from the Super Bowl potentially, right? So that's my take. But I think you guys are going to win the game outright.
Thanks.
I think Kenny Pickett and Pickens are going to have their real breakout week 1. I think they show out in Pittsburgh week 1. And I like you guys to win the game. I'm not really looking at the overs on points or anything right now. Just been looking at money line. So
I think it's too uncertain now.
Yeah, I don't know what both teams are going to look like essentially, but I do believe I'm going with the home underdog on this one. I'm surprised you guys were plus money in Pittsburgh, but I get it. It's the Niners. So.
It's the Niners. I mean, like you said, they were a quarterback away last year from possibly winning the Super Bowl. So
yeah,
I get it. I mean, me personally, obviously I got the Steelers winning, of course. But my takeaways is I think from number one, if we score 20 points, I think we win this game.
Okay.
People might think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think there's two great defenses. It might be like you said, a 14-12. I don't think so. I think it's going to be more of like a 21-17 kind of situation.
I wasn't saying it was going to be 14-12. I'm just saying
like if it was
I need to see. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't want it to be like just horrible offensive, like you bunch of 3-and-outs, bunch of punts.
And I still think there's going to be a few drives like that on both sides. I mean, this is both respectable defenses. You got Bosa and you got Watt. Watt used to be the highest paid defender. Now Bosa's the newest one. Got a healthy defensive front when it comes to the Steelers. Highsmith, Hayward, Minka, Patrick Peterson's healthy. I'm hoping that he can at least be a solid corner. But you're right. The pressure needs to be there. We can't let Brock Purdy just sit back there and get those balls to those playmakers. We need to apply pressure, make them feel uncomfortable. And on the offensive side, like I said, if we score 20 points, I think we can win this game. We can't turn the ball over. This is one of those games. If we get a turnover or two, that could cost us the game. So maybe one turnover we can get away with it, especially if they get one as well. But I think we need to have a clean game, and I think so. I think, like you said, this is going to be a Pickett breakout game. I think Deontay's still going to have a respectable game. And honestly, that's why I don't like the point spread on this thing, because they're both great defenses. So could this be like a 17-14 type game? Yeah. Could this be since they're also two very capable offenses, even though the Steelers are a little more unproven, they have the pieces. Could this be a 28-24 type game? Yeah. So, we'll see what happens, but I'm definitely liking the Steelers on this one. Sleeper pick, trust me. Brock Purdy ain't that guy.
Yeah. I definitely pass on the Brock Purdy in, I want to say Heinz Field, but it's Acrisure Stadium or whatever it's called.
We call it Heinz Field.
Yeah, it's not that anymore, though. They don't rock with the Heinz family anymore, I guess. Moving to the Jacksonville game, where we are going into Indianapolis to play the rookie quarterback, Anthony Richardson. No JT on the pup list for the Colts. And it's essentially, start the season off in division as division winners going into Indianapolis. We are favored by, I think it is 4.5. It might be at 5 points now. I have Jacksonville winning. But I don't have Jacksonville just winning. I think it'll be a massacre.
You taking their spread?
I've spread it already.
You want me to read my notes I have on this game?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have little notes over here to kind of help my memory, because memory ain't the best here. I put fucking thing and losing.
Okay, I like that.
So
I love it. For some reason, so the hype on the Jags, is I think at an all-time high for us preseason. I still don't think it's high enough.
It's not.
I still don't think it's high enough.
I think y'all.
You're giving us. I get it's on the road, but you're giving us a team that won a playoff game last year against a team has a solid offensive line usually, but it was questionable last year. Rookie quarterback. His top receiver is Michael Pittman, allegedly, but he's had better, I guess, chemistry with Alec Pierce. Their defense. The last game of the season last year, this team was up 33 points. I think it was like 33-3 at halftime against the Vikings.
Yeah, you're right. And they came back.
And they came back
It was like, wasn't it like the biggest
comeback in NFL history? Yeah, that defense.
Yeah.
That defense is supposed to stop us from beating this team by a touchdown. That's why I took an alternative spread. It's still too safe. I could have easily went minus 13.5 and went 2 touchdown spread, but I decided to keep it cool, keep it chill, not get ahead of myself.
Honestly, you probably should.
Calvin Ridley, I think it's at 81.5 yards for the game. Now, give me that.
The only problem I have with the lines that you're probably going to talk about is I think you guys are going to whoop them so bad
that people going to be chilling.
I think it's going to be like first half y'all going to be out 21-7. First drive in the third quarter, y'all going to go 28-7. Y'all running the ball the rest of the game. That's what I'm feeling.
If that's the case,
I really feel like
I get it.
I really feel like they're going to destroy them.
But I feel like Calvin Ridley hasn't played football in a year, so he could end the first half with 8.
No, Calvin Ridley's line I like, but I don't know about like any Christian Kirk lines or any Zay Jones.
I'm not getting too much into those. I love those guys, but I'm never going to really put my money. I would put my money on Christian Kirk. I feel like his line is too low.
On a competitive game, I think if Kirk was at like 50 yards, I don't hate that. Would you?
But you have to realize Kirk is transitioning back to his natural role.
Yeah, but I still think he's going to have his games, and I think if we're talking about like the Jags versus the Chiefs or something like that, and we have
which is week 2, by the way.
So if you have Kirk at like a 49.5, receiving yards, yeah, I'll take that. This type of game though, I like Calvin, but that's probably about it.
Well, I haven't looked, but give me the Kirk line over. Give me the Ridley line over. Anytime touchdown, you could pick your poison on that
Honestly,
one.
I think Calvin.
I'll take anytime touchdown Calvin Ridley. Probably take anytime touchdown Evan Ingram. I have a price pick yards per game. No, I have a price pick in on Evan Ingram. That's been one of my favorite lines to hammer.
Is the one that I wasn't sold on it?
Yeah, I think it's over 1.5 100-yard games or over a half.
I thought it was over a half.
I think it's over a half.
Like, because you were like,
he just
one. You just need one.
Yeah, I think it's over a half 100-yard receiving games. Could be this one. Could be this one.
Could be.
But I like the Jags big in this one, and I'm just astonished that for a team that's getting this much hype, the line is this low. I think at one point it was only
I think it might be
minus 180 money line for us to win this game, and I was like, now it's climbed because people have been like, okay.
That's a little egregious.
Obviously, JT's out, so it helped to climb, but everybody's been like,
I think maybe
AR.
You think it's AR?
It is, but like,
I
love
week 1,
the athlete.
Quarterback.
I love the athlete, but let's not act like AR was tearing up the scene in college. Let's not act like AR was accurate or has elite wide receiver talent.
He wasn't crazy in preseason.
Like, he's gonna run. He's gonna be fun to watch, but I think we're gonna really lock in this game. You could probably bet on AR to throw more than one pick this game. We're going to really look dominant, I feel like. And if we don't, then I might have some stuff to reassess. If we struggle with the Colts week 1, I don't think we should be being competitive in the AFC playoff picture. And I know it's week 1 and it might be an exaggeration, but this team is not in any way built to stay with us on the field. So
they're not. And anybody that wants to take the Colts over the Jags in this one, I'm sorry, but you're just dumb.
You're just dumb.
Yeah. The Colts are going to win. Not the Colts. The Jags are going to win this. It's going to be an easy win, and Calvin Ridley over.
Calvin Ridley over. That's a guarantee.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, look at that. He's pulling it back.
That's just me. That's just my nature.
You can't second guess yourself. If you like them,
they
need to know.
I be pulling them out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta lock it in though. Sometimes you gotta lock it in.
I'm locking in.
You lock it
Calvin Ridley over.
All right. So if you guys let's keep it simple. We're just gonna keep to these 2 teams this week. Pittsburgh money line plus 110. Pretty sure Jags alternate spread of a touchdown is plus 110 as well. Make your little bread. It's a pretty solid parlay right there. Or you can take each one individually if you don't trust one of us to hit. But I'm really liking that. I'm really liking that parlay this week.
Also, let me just throw it out there. Jorge Pickens
over week 1
breakout game. His line's probably going to be a little lower to 50-60 since they've been sleeping on the way anyway. So
I think it is.
If it's at 50-60, even at like 70-80, I'm still liking it. But 50-60, definitely.
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 All right, I rock with it. think it's gonna be. I'm excited to get football back. It's been too long.
Tonight's gonna be a good night.
I know it's on Peacock, so I don't have to worry about.
It's on Peacock.
I don't have to try to struggle about finding a way.
I don't gotta pay for YouTube TV just yet.
Yeah, you can wait one more.
Wait a few more days.
Yeah, it's on Peacock tonight, so I'm just gonna bring it up on the TV real easily. Don't have to airplay it from an official website. I have NFL Plus too, so I'm very excited that they finally gave us Red Zone on NFL Plus.
It might be a dumb question. I don't really watch Red Zone. How does Red Zone work on just one game? You just watch the whole game?
So it does not do one game.
So you just pulls up other random games?
Yeah, but it pulls up every team that's in the Red Zone.
Yeah, but like if there's only one game going on,
then yeah, it'll just show that.
That's my question. It's like, if it's just Thursday night football,
it doesn't work on Thursday night. Red Zone's only
on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. So about Sunday night football?
It's gone.
Okay. I was just curious.
Red Zone's only available for
that the
end of the midday games. Okay. Because then it circulates through those 3 midday games.
I was just curious. So I was like,
but for Sunday night football, Peacock.
Peacock got Thursday night and Sunday night?
Well, I don't know if Peacock has Thursday night going forward the whole time, but they have tonight's Thursday night game.
Okay.
I think Amazon Prime still has the other ones.
Dang, Amazon, you just out here folding week 1? Lions versus the Chiefs? Come on up.
Yeah, Peacock gets they pay the money, they get the Prime games. So
Amazon, why being stingy? I'll take it though.
They pay a lot. I don't like Amazon's coverage really, but
yeah, there's a little weird.
They're working on it. We'll give them some credit. But yeah, tonight on Peacock, 7:20 Central, 8:20 Eastern.
So exciting.
Kansas City Chiefs after a Super Bowl against the Lions. Mascot Lions money line. Give me Chiefs alt spread of 6.5. Football's back, baby. I'm excited.
I'm excited. Tonight, should I get like some Wingstop?
You should.
Just give me some of that ranch.
Yeah.
Just lock in.
Lock in. You're good.
It's gonna be a good night.
Yeah. I'm
gonna be texting you too. Like every if I see that man Amon Ra touchdown.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the flips. I'm gonna be on the Prize Picks.
We gotta talk about the Prize Picks.
Yeah,
because I think I have like a few dollars left over. I kind of tonight game is like these are the type of games that you want to be locking in.
Oh no, there's a bunch of stuff. My group chat's been going crazy. We've been talking different scenarios.
Send me your best one. Maybe I'll
my best one. I mean, the best one is Amon-Ra 7 receptions.
Oh, I mean like your,
my best 3.
Your best 3, your best 4. We'll talk about
split
it.
them up. Could make them work.
And then maybe I'll send you over my favorite one. We'll see if we can compare them by the end of the night.
We'll make a fun one.
Yeah. Throw a little $5 on it.
Man, I'm so excited. Where is football?
You know how like I say, I'm not much of a bettor. I might just throw $5.
You just have to be responsible.
I am responsible.
Everything done responsibly. This is a message to the crowd. Whoever is watching.
For the people.
I have some new subscribers. We're at 440. Some of you guys know me in person now. Do this responsibly.
We're not financial advisors. First rule, do it responsibly. Second rule, do it in your free time. Don't be at work. You're supposed to be working, messing around on the clock. You gotta get your bread.
Make more bread. Exactly. Get your bread, then get off the clock, go home, and dabble if you dabble. But do everything responsibly. This is not betting advice. This is just what I might dabble.
This is just, if you already plan on putting $5 on it, we're just telling you this might be the good
Exactly.
way.
If you want to retire, you put $1,000 on Justin Ross anytime touchdown, and when it hits, you come back and you thank me by breaking me off rules. That's all.
Well, if you're gonna say that, then just throw it that wow on Steelers winning all 17 games this year. Lock it.
That's the worst thing.
The Justin Ross one is not. That's crazy too.
You didn't pick a one-time event that has to occur randomly.
Yeah, but you picked I don't think Justin Ross.
I know, but you are asking a team to suffer through 17 weeks of football, injuryless, no crazy calls.
First of all, that was a joke.
I know.
Yours is more feasible.
Mine is still kind of literally the best red zone option they have.
You didn't even know one of the tight ends' names, and you were like, anytime touchdown.
I mean, I know who I was looking for. That's why I could tell you this on IR. You're hating, man. Justin Ross, anytime touchdown.
I hope you're right, because, you've been honest since day one.
I love that kid.
I
love his story, too.
Ever since he came out of
I'm a story guy. I love this kid's story. I feel like him coming out week 1 when he's not really supposed to be getting a package made for him.
That's the only reason why I think it might be a little crazy, because week 1 might be much. But, I mean, like we said, look good at preseason. And if he gets goal line touches, yeah.
I think there'll be a package on the goal line for him, man.
If there's a package on the goal line for him, Patty Mahomes might get him. I could see it. It's definitely more feasible than 17.
He does not have a line.
Because he's like the third string right now. That's why
I don't
it's
care.
tough.
But they have somebody named Derek Barnes. Do you know who Derek Barnes is?
Like Barnes and Noble?
Exactly. Right? They have Alex Anzalone total touchdowns. That's a defensive player. Aiden Hutchinson. That's a defensive player.
They really don't have.
They don't.
Are you sure he's healthy?
I thought he was.
Because he might be questionable going into week one. Maybe they ruled him out. Are you looking?
Bro, just know when it happens,
If you're
they
right,
didn't want me to be great. Just know that.
if you're right, if he gets his touchdown tonight, I'll make a little deal with you.
What's the deal?
If he gets a little tight tonight, I'll buy you a Justin Ross jersey.
That sounds like a deal to me.
From that website.
From that one website? I'll take it. I'm a Justin Ross fan. I don't know if you'll even be able to get one from the website I told you about. They probably don't even know what number he wears. But I'm down.
If he gets a tight tonight, I'll get you one.
Alright, bet. Close out. What you
It's
got to
been
say,
fun.
Matt Avila?
It's been fun, man. I'm excited to be back. Excited for football. I'm excited to get back on the grind every single week.
Yes.
It's gonna
Nothing
be
gonna
fun.
stop it this week.
It's gonna be fun, and both our teams are looking good, man.
Yeah.
You know, after week one, we'll have a lot to talk about for sure.
I think so. Teal and Steel Season 2, Episode 1 is in the books. Thank y'all for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Please like, subscribe, and share. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.